Today on Southpaw RC, we'll be opening this box. Greetings, welcome back to Southpaw RC, and as you can see, we've got a bit of a package from Mr. RunCam today. Let's have a look, see what we got. Focus there. There we go, we have got the RunCam 3S. Let's take her out and see what she looks like. Oh, look. Oh, what a nice colour. Excellent. We've got a bit of a peel off thing there, which we'll worry about that. There's a little door here. Now, behind here is your battery, and right underneath this, at the bottom of this door here, is your SD card slot, and inside there is your removable battery, which is an 800 milliamp hour battery. Let's see if I can get that out. Click the little door. There we go. Right, now the door's not fixed on, so you might want to put a bit of tape in there to stop that falling off, but here is your 800 milliamp hour battery, which just slides right out like so. So there we go, there it is. There is your official battery, the 850 milliamp hour battery. Just got a 3-slot connector there as it slots in. Nothing particularly unusual about that. There's your SD card slot. I've stuck an SD card in there. Gives you a little bit more idea of where it sits. And that'll hold up to, I believe, up to a 64 gig card. Switch that back in there. And put the little door back on. Yeah, I'm going to lose that door if I don't get some kind of bit of tape on there to make sure that holds in. Right, on the back here, we've got hot, caution hot. I've charged this up and I didn't notice, it hasn't got a full charge in it yet, but didn't notice it getting hot at all. Once turned on, this is your power button here, so you'll turn that on for holding it for 2 seconds and that will turn on. You've got your 3 battery indicator lights there at the back, which is excellent. And this here is your Wi-Fi button, so you just press that once and this little light here will flash on, telling you the Wi-Fi signal is now receivable by your phone. And the password for the Wi-Fi app is 1234567890. So I'll put that across the bottom of the screen. So when you're trying to connect to the app, it does come up as 3S and then a series of numbers for your Wi-Fi signal, so you'll recognize it easy enough, but you'll need to put that password in to get into the app, and then you can start adjusting everything from white balance and sharpness and saturation, etc., etc., in the settings, as well as what format you're going to be using. 1080p at 60, 30, I think it does 1080p at 50 as well. But there's various different settings you can run at. That's down to you as your personal preference. Here is your main light, so that's going to be bright red when you turn it on, and you can set it in the settings to auto record, so when you turn it on it'll start recording immediately, and this little light here will flash, so you can easily see when it's actually recording. It's got a photo mode as well, and I think 720 mode. It's also got via one of the little cables. If we have a look at one of the little cables, you can actually run it as your on-screen display unit. And I've been reliably informed by Andy RC that it's actually not very high latency at all. It's actually quite good. So you've got this little cable that comes with it, so you can run an external power source and connect that to a receiver, so you can get your OSD, your live cam feed from that as well. Obviously we start with a standard charging USB brick cable, and two RunCam battery straps, which are extremely handy. Now, this particular model I've ordered came with this, which is rather nice. This is a 35-degree angled 3D printed mount for the camera. Now, this is really, really nice. Soft mount, so it's a little bit jelly, so you've got a little bit of protection there. So I'll slide that in. There you go. There's your cam ready to go on your race quad. So there it is in place. Fits very, very nicely indeed. And you've got mounting points at the back here, and obviously your main battery mounting point, battery strap mounting point at the bottom. Full access to the camera, and you can see your lights. So this came as part of this package. Don't know how it would fit. They actually make ND filters for the 3S now, which is incredibly handy because I will be using this for photographic work rather than race drone type action. So I'm very interested in getting hold of some of the ND filters for this, because that will slow down the shutter speed. That'd be excellent. But I also went ahead and ordered myself one of these. This was a £5, and it is the standard GoPro style mount for the camera. So you can now wear this as a head cam, put it on a tripod, etc., and still use all your old GoPro gear, rather than there aren't any official mounts at all available as far as I'm aware. So this was from Amazon, but you can get them, sorry, this was from Banggood, but you can get them from Amazon and various other different places. If you've got a 3D printer, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to go to Thingiverse and grab yourself the details and print this yourself. So here it is in the GoPro style mount, and these little curves here sit very nicely into the front plate of the 3S and hold that very, very nicely indeed. Still got access to your battery bay and your Wi-Fi button, and obviously your main start button and your power lights on the side. Really, really nice. Oh, click that in there. That's actually really, really nice. It weighs very, very little because it's 3D printed. It's not going to weigh anything extra. If you do want to mount this on a car or a quad, now you can use all your standard GoPro mounts. It is squishy stuff, so it does bend a little bit, gives you a little bit of protection. So I'm quite impressed with that for a £5. That wasn't in part of the set. I got the 3S and this mount, which is a 35 degree mount, the 2 straps, and your little external OSD cable, and your power line, all for I think it was £76. So not a bad deal at all. So I'll put a link in the description for this below. It does come with a nice, very, very full instruction manual. Yeah, let's have a go for the English side, shall we? Just fancy too much of a challenge, but it gives you a full rundown of the buttons and the operating procedure, the Wi-Fi buttons, etc., where to put your SD card, how to upgrade the firmware if you need to, and your TV out settings there as well. So all very, very well written out, and all your different fields of views. You can go down to from 160 to 90, I believe. There's 3 different sets of settings for field of view. 64 gig card, class 6 or above, recommended class 10 U1 up to U3s, so that's good. And it gives you the specs of the battery and everything there. That's really a nice little manual, very well packaged. Quite impressed with that. So I will get some footage. I'll get this fully charged, and I will get you some footage so that you can see in the next video exactly what it looks like. So there is the RunCam 3S. This thing weighs 68 grams, so it's not a massive. It's actually a couple of grams lighter than a GoPro 5 Hero Session. So you won't really notice the weight difference. The only thing you're going to have is obviously you're going to need new mounting ports, because none of your GoPro 5 Session 5 brackets are going to fit this, because this is actually about 3 to 5 millimeters wider. It's the same depth and the same thickness, but it's actually wider by about 3 to 5 millimeters, so it won't fit in any of your brackets. So like I say, Thingiverse, if you've got a 3D printer, and print yourself your own one, or Banggood and Amazon, there's all sorts of different styles of these available, and they're all pretty damn good. So grab yourself one of those. Right, I will make up some footage showing this little camera, probably stick her on the bugs and give her a fly around the field, so we can have a nice comparison. As I say, I'm not going to do a comparison video because I've only got my rubbish action camera to compare it to, and you'll see instantly that this thing is going to blow it away. Well, thanks very much for joining us on this rather short unboxing. I'm sure you're much more interested in getting onto the flight footage, so I'll go away and record some of that. I'll see you next time on Southpaw.